Believe it or not, you can actually practice an instrument even if you don't have it with you. That's because when it comes down to it, there's two parts to learning an instrument, a muscular portion and a neuromuscular portion. For the muscular portion, you're already strong enough to play your instrument. If you don't believe me, there's tons of videos out there of young children playing drums, bass, saxophone, pretty much any instrument you can imagine. So it's not about building strength, but about building skill-specific endurance, precision, and control. I'll show you some exercises for different instruments later, but to an extent, you can work on these even without the instrument. To play an instrument, such as guitar, you need to be able to press down on the frets, usually with your fingers. That is the muscular portion. But to play a song, you need to move your body in specific patterns. This is the neuromuscular portion. And this is also something that you can practice without an instrument. Let's start with the neuromuscular portion. You can practice and even learn songs through visualization training. Yes, sitting there with your eyes closed, thinking about exactly how you play a song. Don't believe me? Give it a try first for yourself and you'll see how powerful it is. It's true that this can't replace practicing an actual instrument, just as daydreaming about your sick karate moves won't mean you actually know how to fight. But when you plan in advance what you want to do, your body will be quicker at adapting to it and carrying out your will. This is actually something that will be more beneficial to you the more familiar you are with your instrument. Your visualizations will be less pure fantasy and more about sequencing the physical actions and skills that you already know how to do. If you're already quite good at an instrument, you can write an entire song easily just by sitting down and thinking about it, and then just hashing out the specific details on your actual instrument later. In other words, once you have a strong muscular baseline for your instrument, it becomes neuromuscularly effortless. All right, now let me show you some exercises for the physical practice of certain instruments. I myself only play guitar, bass, drums, and piano, so these are the only ones that I really have advice for. For other instruments, I'm sure you could use this video as a blueprint and try to come up with your own exercises. Let's start with drums, which we can probably do the most with. You can do the following wrist exercises with a pen. Use your fingers to either move it forward or bash it against your wrist. Remember that this isn't exactly like a drumstick, so you don't want to go crazy fast with this or you'll develop weird habits. Instead, go slow, powerful, and controlled. Focus on that finger endurance. Anywhere you have a chair to sit on, you can still practice ankle exercises. There are 3 exercises to this: moving your whole leg, moving your ankle down, and then planting your ankle and tapping your feet. You can alternate your feet however you'd like, and even do specific patterns. But just remember that you're practicing control. So try not to bounce your leg with momentum, and instead make each movement with control. There's a single exercise series that works quite well for guitar, bass, and piano: finger-thumb taps. Again, the goal here is not speed, but control and perfect placement. First, make sure each finger can tap your thumb without any of the other fingers moving. Then, make sure there's perfect contact. Pick a spot to aim for, such as the tip of the thumb or the nail. Make sure your fingers tap with good curvature. You can also move your thumb and finger in separate motions. This can get hard, don't underestimate it. You can even do both hands at a time, but different patterns. For bass and guitar, you can hold your phone in your fretting hand and pretend you're fretting on it. Here, I'd focus on finger independence. Move one finger at a time in different patterns with minimal movement from the others. Do this a few times at work, and you might come home and realize you feel warmed up for your session already. For piano, you can mock pressing keys on any table surface. Again, focus more on slow independence patterns. You can do different patterns for each hand. You can even visualize playing your song. If you're trying to learn or improve an instrument, I firmly believe that you can improve with just a few minutes of practice a day. These exercises I've shown you can't completely replace your physical practice, but they can help give you an edge whenever you're away from home. It's much better to do this than scrolling through Instagram. If you have suggestions for other instruments or even more exercises for these ones, please let me know in the comments below. Happy learning.